Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to get out as many videos as I can. Uh, yeah, this dude asked me this question a couple of days ago. Man, sorry it took me so long to get back to you, man. I worked like 6 days this week, man. I worked a whole bunch of 12 and 14-hour shifts. So you gotta excuse me for taking so long to get back to you, but I didn't forget. But yeah, you asked me the question. I think this for Kendrick. I think your name is Kendrick. But you asked me the question, did I think HBO was biased and Jim Lampley was biased? Yeah, my answer to that is absolutely. Yeah, of course they are. I'll do you one better, man. Not only do I think Jim Lampley is biased, I think Jim Lampley is a borderline racist. Well, I ain't even gonna say a borderline racist. I think Jim Lampley is a fucking racist. You know, Dante Williams, of Dante's boxing nation, he put out a video where he called Jim Lampley a racist, and I think he is. Um, all you have to do, man, is look on YouTube for various fights. I'll give you a couple you can look at. Look at Manny Pacquiao versus Joshua Clottey when Jim Lampley was doing sound effects. I mean, his broadcast of Manny Pacquiao and Joshua Clottey was just shameful. It was one of the most unprofessional broadcasts I ever seen. Jim Lampley, you can clearly tell he was rooting for Manny Pacquiao. This dude has a history of enhancing Manny Pacquiao's performances, just like he did in the first Timothy Bradley fight, which I thought that fight was a lot closer than what people made it out to be. They made it look like it was just a flat out robbery, but that fight was very close. If you watch that fight on other people broadcasting, like people like Box Nation and people like that, you will see that they thought the fight was a lot closer than Jim Lampley, who had it like a straight up blowout, and it wasn't. And then then look at go look at um Bernard Hopkins versus Kelly Pavlik. That's on here. Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant were mad at Bernard Hopkins for winning that fight. You can hear the disgust in their voice. Okay. Then go look at other various fights where, you know, Larry Merchant was notorious for this. I couldn't stand Larry Merchant. I thought Larry Merchant was a bigger racist than Jim Lampley. I mean, this dude, he would always kiss Oscar De La Hoya's ass, but then he always would try to sneak diss the brothers. He'd be very condescending and disrespectful towards the brothers, you know. And I was so glad when HBO finally had got rid of him. He tried to say, make it look like he quit, but he got fired. And I thought Jim Lampley would be next, but apparently Jim Lampley is still there. you know. So I'm just like, man, give me a break. But yeah, man, just look at various fights. Just look at um Jim Lampley's demeanor towards other fighters, particularly black fighters versus non-black fighters. You see how he's hyping up Triple G and Sergey Kovalev, Vasil Lomachenko, but then you can barely get him to say anything good about Terrence Crawford. So it is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, I think HBO is biased, you know, and unprofessional. I've been saying this for a while that I think HBO would be so much better if they would get rid of Jim Lampley. I mean, if you look at the last couple of broadcasts, you didn't seen sort of Max Kellerman kind of like, you know, say stuff to Jim Lampley, kind of lightweight argue with him and disagree with him about how he's called certain fights. I think even to a certain degree, Max Kellerman is getting tired of Jim Lampley. For a while, Max Kellerman used to always kiss Jim Lampley's ass, but I think now Max Kellerman is starting to come into his own and be like, hey, I've been here long enough to where I need to have my own opinion and stop trying to, you know, follow the leader and piggyback behind Jim Lampley. So yeah, man. But yeah, just check out some of those fights, man. Just check out, check out some of the Floyd Mayweather fights. You know, then I'll give you another example. When Mike Tyson fought on HBO, Jim Lampley loved Mike Tyson, but then when Mike Tyson left for Showtime, then he pretty much was saying Mike Tyson wasn't shit. And the same thing with Floyd Mayweather. So yeah, man, just see for yourself. But yeah, HBO, Jim Lampley and company are very biased. And here's another side note before I go, man. It's not just it's not just the fans, and it's not just um, it's just not people on YouTube that have peeped out some of Jim Lampley's and HBO's antics. It's other broadcasters from other networks such as PBC. People have sort of lightweight taking shots at Jim Lampley, saying on here we try to broadcast a fight and we call it right down the line. We don't root for anybody. Al Bernstein has taken shots at Jim Lampley and hinted that he's biased. So yeah, it's all good, man. But there you have it, man. I'm out.